So I'm recording this video before they play game 5. You're down 3-1, you're not making the comeback. Austin Matthews isn't healthy. Mitch Marner looks like crap on the ice. And William Nylander, he had migraines for the first 3 games. He can't play, simple as that. But man, I was expecting this team to still be a bit better than what they are. Like Toronto, you were in year what of the rebuild? 7, 8? The Shanna plan is dead. That thing's not going to work. This team isn't going to work. You have to make some big changes, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm not making 1 trade. I'm not making 2. I'm not making 3. Every single player on this roster is about to get traded. We're going to win Toronto a Stanley Cup, but I have to trade every single player. And on top of that, we're going to make this video a bit more difficult. I have a couple franchise potential players. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander. So it would be pretty easy for me to trade Austin Matthews for Connor McDavid. It would probably take Matthews and a 3rd round pick. Yeah, we're not doing that. Every player I trade for has to be below elite potential. We're not allowed to bring any franchise potential players onto the team. So with that being said, Toronto, it's time for a bit of a makeover. Everyone's moving. And while I try to figure out what trades we're going to be doing here, if you're part of the 80% people that aren't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Subscribe right now. Stick on the Ice is a bit sick, but you know what's going to make them better? You subscribe to the channel. Do that right now. Also, I'm about to make a second rule here. I can't trade for high elite potential players because Elias Pettersson, give this man 1 season, he's going to have franchise potential, so it doesn't really feel right trading for him. It has to be medium elite potential players or lower. If they develop into franchise potential after that, then that happens. It's the way she goes, but not high elite potential players like Elias Pettersson. It's guaranteed he's going to finish with franchise. So this is going to be the first trade of the video. We're picking up Kent Johnson, David Jiricek, and 3 first-round picks for the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for William Nylander. He's going to be the first piece that falls here. I mean, ideally we can get 3 first-round picks. I don't think we're going to be able to. Best case scenario, that's what we're picking up here. So I'll include a 4th and 6th rounder into the deal. Hopefully that's enough to make the difference. Okay, let's just get 2 first round picks instead of 3. Then I think we'll be able to get this deal done. You got to give me at least 2 first rounders though. So here's a 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder. Hopefully that's enough to make the difference here. They're still going to be saying no. Am I really only going to be getting 1 first round pick here? I'm not only doing 1 first round pick. You got to give me some other assets as well. Give me a 2nd and 3rd rounder as well. They're saying no to that. I'll take the 3rd rounder out. You got to give me something though. You can't just be giving me 1 first rounder on top of David Jiricek and Kent Johnson. We're getting finessed here. We have to give up draft capital? No, that ain't right. Here's a 7th rounder from the Ottawa Senators. The first deal is done. Okay, you're kidding me. 2 7th rounders. 2 7th rounders. You really couldn't have just taken 1. You needed 2 7th round picks. You guys are just messing with me right now. I really don't want to do this deal anymore because you want 3 7th round picks. That's the difference. You guys won't accept this deal unless I give you 3 7th round picks. A bunch of schmucks over there in Columbus. So Mitch Marner, you've looked absolutely terrible in the playoffs. Granted, supposedly you're still recovering from the high ankle sprain, so I'm not going to put 100% blame on you, but even still, you have looked absolutely terrible. So we're trading you over to the Islanders now. Noah Dobson, Bo Horvat, Romanov, and 2 first-round picks for Mitch Marner. I feel like that's a pretty fair deal. I'll take one of these first-round picks out. You got to give me at least 1 first-rounder, though. There we go. We just got this deal done, and the team's looking a lot better already. Now, I'm not going to lie. Trading Austin Matthews has actually been somewhat difficult because his trade value is so high and I want to get as many assets as possible for him. So we're actually doing a deal like this. Austin Matthews, 4 AHL players over to the Carolina Hurricanes. You're going to give me Marty Necas, Brett Pesce, Seth Jarvis, Brady Shea, Jake Getzel. Jake Getzel's probably not going to end up on our team in the future. Brady Shea is not going to be a part of this team in the future, but we just need assets to bring to the team. So this is the trade we're doing. Carolina supposedly is getting a massive steal. We just took 5 players away from that team. Yeah, they're definitely not as strong as they used to be. We're in a better position, but some of those guys aren't going to be sticking on the team. Alright, so I already said that Jake Getzel is not a part of this team's future, but you know who could be? Brock Besser and Thatcher Demko. We get the goaltender we desperately need, and we bring in a bit more scoring of Brock Besser. Jake Getzel, he just doesn't have good fits on the lines we have, so there's no point keeping him here. We're going to offer this trade over. They're saying no, but don't worry, we have first round picks we can work with, and we're going to trade a couple of them away. So here's Toronto's first round pick, and I believe that should be enough to get this trade done. I'm going to offer that over. I'm very surprised Vancouver's saying no to this. What else is it going to take? Here's a 4th round pick. I doubt a 4th round is going to be the difference. Yeah, not even close. I guess we're doing 2 firsts. But if I'm going to be giving you 2 first round picks, you got to give me some assets back. Give me a 3rd and 2nd rounder as well. They're saying no to this. I'll take the 3rd rounder out. You got to give me at least a 2nd. There we go. We got another massive deal done. So we moved on over to the San Jose Sharks, and this deal is just to basically clear out cap space. John Tavares, you're not worth $11 million. You just aren't. So Mario Ferraro, Zarlin, and the 4th round picks can be acquired here. We're also going to be getting rid of Ryan Reeves in this deal. They're saying no. I'll give them a 7th rounder and then we can get that 4th. Unfortunately, we don't have a 7th round pick, so I'm going to have to give up a 6th instead, but it doesn't matter. We're still getting this deal done. So Bo Horvat, you actually don't have the fit I thought you had on this team, so that means we're going to ship you out here. We're going to be acquiring Matt Boldy and Jacob Middleton from the Minnesota Wild. In a deal like this, we're also giving up Matthew Nyes. Maybe we won't be doing this deal. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We're still going to get Matt Boldy and Jacob Middleton on this team. However, we have to go a different route. We have to acquire a 1st and 2nd rounder from the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for Bo Horvat. I'm going to send this package over. This is a good deal for us. Now we'll go get Matt Boldy. So now that we're fitting the trade block a bit better, are we going to be able to acquire Matt Boldy and Jacob Middleton? I'm going to send this package over. They're saying no. We'll throw a couple draft picks in this deal. Here's 2 4th rounders. This is basically the best we can do here. That's actually a lie. I do know we have a couple 2nd round picks. So here's the 2nd rounder we also got from the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to add that into the package. They're still saying no here, and then I'll give you Vancouver's 2nd rounder as well. So it's a 1st, 2 seconds, Matthew Nyes, and a prospect. That should be enough for Matt Boldy and Jacob Middleton. Unfortunately, they're going to be saying no. So you know what? I'm done messing around with the Minnesota Wild. You're getting Columbus's 1st round pick instead because it has way more trade value. We got the deal done. It's as simple as just using a different 1st round pick. So this is going to be an absolute no-brainer. Max Domi, you're off to the Seattle Kraken, and we're bringing in Tolvanen. Simple as that. So this is what our next trade's going to be looking like. It's Nick Robertson over to the Detroit Red Wings. We're picking up Rasmussen in a 4th round pick. Rasmussen's going to be a great guy for the bottom 6 here. We're actually going to keep that 4th round pick in the deal. Never mind. We're just going to make it a 7th rounder just to make this deal a bit simpler. There we go. We got it done. So we're moving on to our next deal, and that's going to send Morgan Rielly over to the Florida Panthers. We're picking up stick on the ice legend Sam Bennett, Anton Lundell, who's going to turn into a great player for us, and Sam Oskevich, an absolutely elite bottom 6 piece for us. I think this trade package should be enough. Okay, we got finesse there. We could have gotten way more, but you know what? We got the guys we want, and we got the guys we need. So hopefully we can just do 1-for-1 in a deal like this. Liljegren over to the Boston Bruins for Matt Poitras. Unfortunately, we're going to have to include a 7th rounder. I didn't want to, because you know how valuable those 7th round picks are. But hey, Poitra's going to be a great guy for the bottom 6 here. He's going to be an elite playmaker. So we're finally going to be making a deal with the Edmonton Oilers here. We're going to be sending Matthew Nyes over to Edmonton. We're going to be picking up Warren Fogle in a 3rd round pick. Fogle's going to be a pretty solid guy for our bottom 6. So we have a couple more guys we got to get rid of. Kampf, Jones, Wall. We're going to be packaging them up along with a 5th round pick, and we're looking to pick up Connor Ingram to be our backup over the next couple years. They're saying no to that deal, but if I turn that 5th rounder into a 3rd, I think that should be enough. I'm actually very surprised they're still saying no to that deal. I'll put that 5th rounder in as well, so it's going to be a 3rd and a 5th. Give me Connor Ingram. He's going to be the backup for the next 3. And then from here on out, I think we're just going to be using Trade Finder. So Joel Edmondson, where are you going to be sent to? It looks like you're off to the Anaheim Ducks. We're going to get a 3rd round pick. It's actually our 3rd round pick back. Labushkin, where are you off to now? Because we have to trade you as well. Labushkin, yeah, you can go over to the Boston Bruins and we can get a 3rd round pick. We're not done with the moves yet because now TJ Brody has to be traded away, and it looks like he's off to the Calgary Flames, and we're getting a 3rd round pick back. Okay, we actually had way more players left over than I thought. We still have to trade Mark Giordano. We still have to trade Connor Timmins. Yeah, there is a lot of players here. A lot of players we still have to get rid of. So with this next move, we're going to be picking up Josh Doan and Soderstrom. They're 2 guys that are going to play in the AHL. We're just going to see what their development's like over the next couple of years. If they can be key pieces for this team in the future, then this is going to be a great pickup. If they don't be key pieces for us, then more than likely we want a Stanley Cup before they made it to the lineup. So we're heading back over to Trade Finder here. Mark Giordano, where are we sending you? You're back to the Calgary Flames. That's where you have to play. So we have to keep on trading players here. Hopefully we can trade 2 defensemen in one deal. That would make things very simple for us. Victor Arvidsson, why not? We'll bring you onto the team, and then maybe we could flip you somewhere. Now, I'm not focused too much on the guys in the AHL that played for Toronto, but I am focused on a guy like Minton. I am focused on a guy like Gregor. So I'm going to package both of these guys up, and we're going to trade them away somewhere. So they're off to the Minnesota Wild. We're getting 2 4th round picks, and I believe that's all the trades we have to do here. So it turns out there's actually one more trade we have to do here. Connor Dewar, you're still on the team, but more importantly, Bobby McMahon, an absolute legend. When this man went on his hot streak where he had like 7 goals in 10 games, the day that he did that, I got his rookie card. So yeah, shout out to Bobby McMahon. Absolute legend. So it turns out I lied again. There actually is one more player from the original Toronto Maple Leafs on our team. Where is he? Cowie Yarkrow. I did not realize you were still on our team. I thought we traded you a while ago, but nope. Now you're off to the Carolina Hurricanes, and we're getting a 2nd round pick for you. With that trade right there, now we're officially done. Alright, so there's a handful of guys that need extensions here, and Marty Necas, you were going to be the first player I was giving an extension to, but you only want a 2-year deal. I got to do more than 2 years with you, so we're not going to be signing you quite yet. Seth Jarvis, where are you looking at? Yeah, we can definitely do 5 years. So how does 5 years at $4.4 million sound? That's an absolute steal for you. Brady Shea, I see the potential in a player like you, so here's 4.9 for the next 4. Tolvanen, you're going to be playing some big minutes on this team, so I'll give you 4.9 6.9 for the next 4 as well. Another guy that's playing some big minutes for us is going to be Kent Johnson. We got to do at least 5 years though. We're going to do 5 years at 6.7 million. So that's 6.7 million for Kent Johnson. We've signed a handful of guys, but we're not done yet. Lindell, I'm actually not going to give you a deal yet unless we're doing sub 2 million. Okay, yeah, we could probably make this work. So here's 4 years at 1.9 million. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. So after everything is said and done and the entire Toronto Maple Leafs roster was traded away, this is what we're looking at. Tolvanen, Marty Necas, Brock Besser on the first line, Seth Jarvis, Kent Johnson, Matt Boldy on the second, Warren Foegele, Sam Bennett, Victor Arvidsson on the third line, and on the fourth line we're going to see Zetterlund, Matt Poitras, and Rasmussen. The defense is looking incredible as well. Brady Shea and Noah Dobson leading the way. We've got David Jiricek teaming up with Romanov, and then Mario Ferraro and Brett Pesce are going to hold it down that third pairing. And to cap it all off, we have two fantastic goaltenders, Thatcher Demko, Connor Ingram. There's no reason this team shouldn't win a Stanley Cup in the next 3 years. Not because the team looks incredible, but Stick on the Ice is managing them, and I can definitely do a better job than what Toronto's doing right now. So it's time for this team to finally see a bit of success. We're stepping up to the trade deadline, and then more likely we're going to make a move or two. So under new management, the Toronto Maple Leafs are one of the best teams in the entire league. We're currently sitting second with a 40-20-3 record. The offense is absolutely flying, while the defense, one of the best in the entire league. Who would have thought Toronto's defense would be this good? On top of that, we're going to see Brock Besser leading the way. He's having an incredible season. 40 goals, 69 points. Noah Dobson, 64. Marty Necas, 63. Tolvanen's got 54 points. The boys are looking elite here, and there's no point fixing anything. There really isn't anything to fix. Thatcher Demko, 32 wins, 6 shots, a 911 and a 282. I think we will make one trade. Then again, we're second in the entire league. The goaltending is great. The defense is great. The forward core is great. Everything is great on this team. No point giving up a bunch of assets that we don't have. So to finish out the season, we were elite, but the Winnipeg Jets were just better. We're 50-28-4 here. Winnipeg's taking 55 wins. We have a better offense than them, but that defense is just spectacular. 2.33 goals against. Nobody's going to be able to stop Winnipeg if you can't get the puck past Connor Hellebuyck. However, Brock Besser might be able to. He's got 52 goals this season. Marty Necas, 82 points. Noah Dobson, 80. Tolvanen, 68 points here. Considering what this guy's development's about to be, that contract we gave him is going to be well worth it. Meanwhile, the goaltending, we already know what these numbers are looking like. Thatcher Demko, 40 wins, 6 shots, a 908 and a 289. Let's see if we can win a Stanley Cup in year number 1 here. Before we do that though, Marty Necas, we do have to give you an extension. So Marty Necas, where are you going to be looking for? You still only want to do 2 years here. We might wait till the re-sign phase. I got to do more than 2 years with you. That's just the way it is. But enough yapping. It's time for us to get into the postseason. Can Toronto win a Stanley Cup in year number 1 and make this a short video? Probably not. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Even though I've taken over as management, it's still the Toronto Maple Leafs. So in a series that we should absolutely dominate, it's tied 2-2 and we're off to game 5. The series is tied here. Who would have saw this one coming? It doesn't matter if it's new management, it's still the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're taking game 6, 8-1, but even still, we shouldn't be in game 7 right here. Also, Winnipeg got swept to Edmonton. Ain't no way. So this has been a very strange postseason. The best team in the entire league getting swept by the Edmonton Oilers. What's going to be happening here? Columbus has picked up the first goal. Yeah, we lost. We really lost this. We got shut out. Year number 1, William Nylander picked up a goal here, but that is incredibly tough. We built the second best team in the entire league, lost in 7 games. Meanwhile, the best team in the Winnipeg Jets lost in 4 games. Seth Jarvis, you had 9 points. Can't complain about that, but that is tough. That is very tough. So clearly, we have to change some things up here. Shout out to the Vancouver Canucks. They're winning the Stanley Cup, and that means somebody from the original Toronto Maple Leafs is winning a Stanley Cup because we did pick up Thatcher Demko. Did they just win a Stanley Cup with Samsonov? Ain't no way. The scoring on this team, definitely not ideal. Noah Dobson, you can't be -6, plain and simple. The goaltending, yeah, we're going to pretend these numbers don't exist. So let's go ahead, get ready for the offseason here, give Marty Necas an extension. Probably not going to do too much in the draft here because let's be honest with ourselves, we're going to be a Stanley Cup team in the next 3 years. So prospects, they're not going to develop quick enough for us, so we might as well just trade the picks away. Yeah, so I didn't realize how many picks we actually have to trade away, so I will use our first round pick here, and I want Luke Misa. The man's an absolute hero. Shout out to Luke Misa. He helped beat the San Jose Sharks. If you know, you know. Alright, so let the trades begin here. I just want future picks and future picks only. Brock McGinn, I don't want to take on your contract. Just give me picks here. Okay, these are a lot of players that aren't picks. If you're on an expiring deal, I'll take you on, but I want picks here. This is the type of deal I'll do. We're getting 2 third-rounders. So let's keep on doing trades here. It looks like we're getting a 3rd rounder from the Dallas Stars now. Let's let the trades continue here. Now we're getting a 3rd rounder from the Winnipeg Jets. And after acquiring the 3rd rounder, what are we going to be getting next? Maybe something from the Washington Capitals. Is Washington going to be offering us a trade? No, they aren't, but we can get a 3rd round pick from the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then with our final trade here, we're also including a 5th rounder in the deal, but we can get Nathan Walker and a 3rd round pick. If that's not a steal, I don't know what is. So it looks like we're finally able to get a deal done with Martin Necas here. We're doing $8 million for the next 7 seasons. I was looking for a long-term deal like this, and I'm happy we're finally getting one. Warren Fogle, I wouldn't mind doing a deal with you. Okay, that's not happening, plain and simple. Brett Pesce, honestly, it's up in the air for you. You've been a great defenseman for us. If we can do $4.8 million for the next 5, I'll keep you on this team. But yeah, I'm not really too sure if I want to pay that much for a third pairing defenseman. Victor Arvidsson, we're going to let you walk here. Soderstrom will give you a deal as well. Here's 1.5 for the next 2. Maybe you'll crack the lineup. But yeah, we're going to be letting a handful of guys walk here. Okay, Marty Necas basically told me I was bugging and he's not accepting that deal. So here's 8.6 for the next 7. Pretty sure he's going to be accepting that one. That's a pretty fair contract. So part of the reason I was a bit nervous when it came to the re-sign phase is because I know guys like Noah Dobson are going to want extensions here. He wants $11 million for the next 3. We got to do a long-term deal. I can't do 3 years. Brock Besser, hopefully we can do a long-term deal with you. We could probably do 8.5 for the next 6. 8.5 for Brock Besser is a pretty fair deal, especially since he's a 50-goal scorer for us. Sam Bennett, we're probably going to let you walk in free agency after this season. Zutterlin, I would love to keep you on this team. What are you looking for? $3 million to be a 4th line guy, probably not happening. Romanoff, you're a second pairing defenseman for us, but even $5.8 million, that's a bit of a stretch. The one good thing is though, we basically have the entire team coming back here. We're going to make a couple small changes. Other than that, we should be a top team in the NHL, no question about it. So you know what, Warren Fogle, you've improved to an 86 overall. You want $5.5 million. However, we could do a 1-year deal with you. So that's actually what we're going to do here. 6.2 for next season. This is the lone free agent signing. Probably should have just kept him during the re-sign phase, but you know what, we're only giving him a 1-year deal. I'm okay with paying a bit too much. Alright, so Tovanen's better this season. Marty Necas is better. Brock Besser's better. Seth Jarvis, I believe, is the same overall. Ken Johnson, I know for a fact, is better, but he lost X Factor, so make it make sense sometimes. Matt Boldy's an 86 overall. The bottom 6 is looking really good here. Warren Fogel's an 86. Don't even know how that happened. The defense is spectacular once again. David Jiricek's up to an 84 overall. Romanoff's up to an 84. We're looking fantastic all around. And then we have 90 overall Thatcher Demko, 85 overall Connor Ingram. We're going to be one of the best teams once again. We just need to show up when it matters most. Okay, so at this point, the Toronto Maple Leafs are honestly just a joke. You would think our team would be very good right now, running it back with the exact same team, the exact same players, and everyone got better. Here's our record. We're not going to look at the standings. We're outside the playoff picture, but what went wrong here? Well, the scoring for number 1, Brock Besser, you only have 26 goals so far. That's not enough. Seth Jarvis, you haven't been that great. The entire team has just been very, very, very bad here. I don't know why we've been so bad. We just have been. The defense has been atrocious. Everything about this team has been absolutely atrocious so far. We're not making any trades. If we can sneak into the playoffs, that's great. If you know what, we actually are going to make a trade. Warren Fogle, there's no point keeping you on this team. We're trading you at 50% retained, and we'll see what we can get. Okay, so this is the trade we're doing. It's going to be Warren Fogle and a 3rd rounder over to the New York Rangers. We're getting Capo Caco and Phil Pedal. Phil Pedal's not going to be on the team next season. We just need him to make the Caps work here. This team's really one of the worst in the entire league. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just so disappointed. So luckily, Toronto was able to sneak into the playoffs here. I'm not too happy about our record though. 42, 31, and 9. We're not going to talk about this. Like, I don't even know what to say. We just couldn't score goals this season, which doesn't really make sense. The offense was bad. This whole team was just bad. I can't gas it up whatsoever. Thatcher Demko, you better step it up in the postseason because that's when it matters. We're taking on Montreal in the first round. I don't know how to feel. I really don't. Like, I thought I crafted one of the greatest teams of all time. And here we are just being 1000% mid. It's just the way it goes sometimes. So we've exchanged games with the Montreal Canadiens right now. Game 5 is going to be a big one. Who's taking the lead in the series? I knew for a fact it wasn't going to be us, and I know for a fact we're losing to Game 6 here. I started that sentence before we even simulated the game, and I already knew we were going to lose. Another first round exit. Something's never changed with this team. We are going to do the biggest overhaul over the offseason. I mean, that's a complete lie. We're rocking the exact same team next season. I believe in the core here. We have a lot of really good players and a lot of really talented players. We just have to win when it matters most. Something just didn't go right this season. So in the year 2025, we had an Eastern Conference matchup that consisted of the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Montreal Canadiens. This season's definitely a fluke. So plain and simple, we just didn't score when it mattered most. We didn't play defense. The goaltending wasn't good here. A lot of things weren't good this season, but you know what? I feel like the team can bounce back. We have the potential to. So I know the salary cap situation for this team is about to get difficult, so we got to make sure that we win next season. If that involves trading a bunch of picks away, that's what we have to do. It looks like we're starting with this move right here, picking up 2 third rounders from the Calgary Flames. Now we have a ridiculous amount of 3rd round picks, so we're going to trade most of them away over to the Anaheim Ducks to get a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. And then I believe we do have one last 3rd round pick left here, so I guess we could draft a prospect. Best case scenario, we get an absolute star here. Let's hope this guy turns into a medium-league potential goaltender, and then will be a good trade asset for us. There we go. Welcome Tatar to the team. Now, Noah Dobson, you're one of the most important pieces to the team here, and we're going to lock you down to a very reasonable contract, 9.5 for the next 8. I forget where we got Adam Larson, but he's not going to be coming back here. Sam Bennett, ideally, we can sign him to a really cheap contract. I'm not necessarily against this, so we might do that. Romanov, I think we're going to be walking away from you. I don't want to give you $6 million. I will qualify you as an RFA, though. Zarlin, you've been a decent player for us, so I can do a 2x2. So Noah Dobson said no to back-to-back deals now. I'm going to give him basically exactly what he wants, 10.5 for the next 8. He better say yes to this deal. There we go. We got Noah Dobson locked down long term. So we are going to be losing a handful of guys here, like Sam Bennett's going to be leaving the team. Romanov for qualifying as RFA. So Sam Moskevich, we're going to get an insane deal done with you, less than $1 million for the next 3 years, and you're on a 2-way contract. Romanov, we're going to be walking away from you. You want $6 million. We just don't have the money for you anymore. Sam Bennett, you're another guy we're going to be letting walk here. 3.3 million isn't too bad for you, but you know what? We just can't afford you anymore. So after the re-sign phase, things are just going to get more difficult for this team. We got to give out some extensions. Okay, David Jiricek, this is a lot better than I was expecting. We're doing 4.6 for the next 4. I thought you were going to want like $7 million. Mario Ferraro, we're going to be letting you walk here. Matt Poitras, hopefully we can do under $3 million. Yeah, we can do 2.2 for the next 2 years. And then Capo Caco, why not keep you around long term at a reasonable deal? Maybe we won't do that, because we have to make sure we have a bit of money for Thatcher Demko, because now he wants a deal. Yeah, I can definitely do this. 6.2 million for the next 6 years. An absolute steal for a guy like Thatcher Demko. So this is what I'm crafting up here. Mario Ferraro, a 2nd and 4th round pick over to the Arizona Coyotes, and we're going to bring in Sean Durzi. He's the replacement for Romanov. Now we need a replacement for Mario Ferraro. So this is what we're going to do with Romanov. Him and a 7th rounders over to the Edmonton Oilers. We're bringing in Broberg and a 3rd round pick. Okay, so it actually turns out we don't have enough money for Thatcher Demko, but here's the plan. Once the salary cap goes up, we'll have enough money for him. Yeah, I'm really banking on the salary cap jumping like 4 million. Alright, so we're running almost the exact same team as last season. You might be thinking, why the heck would you run the exact same team? Well, maybe because we have Marty Natchez, Brock Besser, Tolvanen, Matt Boldy, Kent Johnson, Seth Jarvis, Sam Moskevich, Lindell, Philip Hito, Rasmussen, Matt Poitras, and Zutterlin. All these guys are basically over an 82 overall except for Rasmussen. We are a very good team here. Defensively, Brady Shea, Noah Dobson, David Jiricek, Sean Durzi, Philip Broberg, Brett Pesce. The lowest overall being Philip Broberg, who's an 82. Everyone else is an 86 or higher. And then the goaltending, what could possibly go wrong here? 90 Thatcher Demko, 85 overall Connor Ingram. This is the team that won 42 games last season. I wouldn't be surprised if we won 55 games this season. I also wouldn't be surprised if we only won 35. It could go either way. Now, this is a perfect example of why I just hate the simulation sometimes. So last season, we won 42 games and we couldn't do anything. This season, we've won 39 games and we're at the trade deadline. We're 2nd in the entire league, 2nd with a 39-15-9 record. We've won 3 less games than last season and we still have 20 games to go. The offense isn't ideal. The defense is great though. No clue why the offense isn't ideal, though. I mean, I feel like we have enough talent here. Marty Natchez, he's leading the way, 57 points. 57 points isn't enough here, but look at the depth scoring. It doesn't matter who's on the ice, we're picking up goals. And Thatcher Demko, I mean, your numbers are mid. I don't want to gas you up too much. 28 wins, 3 shots, a 912 and a 270. I'm just really expecting more. So if I give up 2 third-round picks in order to get the Rangers' first-round pick, if we can get that first rounder, I think we'll be able to get Joe Pavelski. So it's going to be 2 third-rounders and a 4th. I think the trade value we're offering over is pretty fair. So we got that first-round pick. Now let's see if we can get Joe Pavelski. So we could have just made this really easy on ourselves and threw in our first-round pick. But note, we trade for the Rangers in order to trade the Rangers' first-round pick over there. They're going to be saying no to that. I got more third-round picks we can work with. I'm willing to give up our first-rounder if I have to. So maybe that Rangers' first-round pick's actually going to be pretty useful for us. Yeah, it's going to be 2 firsts, 2 thirds, Connor Ingram. We're going to be bringing in a rental for this season in Joe Pavelski and Chris Driedger because neither of those guys are going to be coming back. We got this deal done. Now it's time for us to finally hoist the Stanley Cup. So after picking up Joe Pavelski, this is going to be the team. It's going to be Marty Natchez, Brock Besser, Matt Boldy on the top line, then Kent Johnson, Joe Pavelski, Seth Jarvis on the second. A +5 boost here, +4 on the top line. The bottom 6 is great. We already know the defense is fantastic here. There is 0 weaknesses on this team whatsoever. We just have to win when it matters most. Now, I'm not going to lie, Toronto struggled a little bit after the trade deadline, but we finally got it together in the final 7 games. We've won 7 straight here. We're finishing with a 50-21-11 record. The offense is looking a lot better here, while the defense is still looking immaculate. Now, the only question I have is, can the boys step it up when it matters most in the postseason? Joe Pavelski, you've been a great addition to the team. You're providing some scoring, and I think you've been the missing piece all along. We just needed 41-year-old Joe Pavelski, because Thatcher Demko, he can carry the team on his back in the playoffs. 37 wins here, here, 6 shots, a 912 and a 270. It's time for Toronto to finally end this ridiculous drought. And this is the perfect team to start the run against the Boston Bruins. Toronto, it's finally time for you to get your revenge after years and years and years and years and years of disappointment. So of course the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to look good in the first 2 games, then they're going to suck in the 2 games after that. I should have expected this, especially going against the Boston Bruins. We're finally going to be responding though in game number 5. Can we close it out in game 6 and make it to the second round? Making it to the second round after beating the Boston Bruins, this team's destined for a Stanley Cup. So the Toronto Maple Leafs have made it to the second round. Very rarely do you get to say those words, but you know what's more rare than that? The Toronto Maple Leafs making it to the second round, defeating the Boston Bruins. Those words are never spoken. But you know what? We got to get past the Bruins. We've already taken them down. We have Detroit up next. And it looks like now that we've got past the Boston Bruins, nothing can stop the Toronto Maple Leafs. We had a 3-0 series lead. Detroit might have won game number 4, but we're just going to close out in 5. Now this is by far the biggest series we've been involved in. 2 of the best matching up, the Toronto Maple Leafs and New York Rangers. The winners making the Stanley Cup final. The big time players got to show up here. Now I never thought I would say these words, but we're actually dominating the Rangers. 7 goals here, 5 here, 5 here. We might have allowed 6 in this game. That's perfectly fine because we're going to respond in game number 5 here. We're picking up another 4. The Toronto Maple Leafs are in the Stanley Cup final. So it all comes down to this. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver, we have your goaltender in Thatcher Demko. I refuse to believe that you're beating us without him. So all I need is Toronto to win 4 more games. You've won 12 up until this point. All you need to do is win 4 more. We're down 3-1 in this series. Ain't no way we're about to choke to Vancouver. We're winning game 5. We gotta win game 6 to force game 7. Here we are. Game 7, it all comes down to this, 1 more game. So we have Thatcher Demko. I honestly don't even know who the goaltender for Vancouver is, but we're going to be able to score on him. It's Samsonov. I wasn't 100% sure if he was still there. It looks like he is. Toronto's got a 3-1 lead entering the 3rd period. We got to hold on. I need some good defense for 20 more minutes, and we'll be Stanley Cup champions. We didn't even need good defense. We're picking up a couple more goals here. The Toronto Maple Leafs in the year 2026 Stanley Cup champs. So Toronto, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is trade your entire team away. Bring in a guy like Brock Besser, who's going to pick up 13 goals in 23 playoff games. Murray Nature's 22 points. An elite defender in Noah Dobson. And to cap it all off, you just need a guy like Thatcher Demko, who didn't even put up the greatest of numbers. 15 wins, 3 shouts, a 910, a 292. I'm really surprised we won with these numbers. Shout out to Joe Pavelski, though. He was the missing piece. We couldn't have done it without him.